Porn-free. Real help for those struggling with pornography. Let's get straight to the point. For those fighting the porn habit, a huge trap is euphoric recall of all the images ever viewed that are stored in memory. Because your memory is the most accessible library on earth, sometimes delivering its contents back to you without your permission. In spite of your best efforts and willpower, relapse can happen because of those uninvited images popping into your head and leave you feeling hopeless, helpless, and defeated. Because porn is a sexual sin, some think they cannot call upon Christ for help because they're not worthy. Thus, they're condemned to carry their burdens alone. But Christ does not leave us alone. His rescue is always available upon your request. In the next few minutes, I'm going to demonstrate a miraculous tool involving Christ that has been used many times successfully to make pornographic images stored in memory lose their appeal. What is required on your part is belief that it's possible, willingness to allow Christ to do for you what you haven't been able to do for yourself, a high desire to have your mind free of those pornographic images, a mind that is relatively free of mind-altering drugs, and that is because some drugs can interfere with this, and a good imagination. One person will be the facilitator, doing the thinking, analyzing, and guiding, and the other person is the one looking for relief. Because this tool is basic and easy to learn, it can be facilitated by a bishop or minister to a member of the congregation, by a parent to a child, or from one person struggling with porn to another. And here's how it works. Begin by having the person struggling with porn imagine Jesus Christ in the most positive way. Now, that doesn't mean a vindictive Christ waiting to strike you down because you're not perfect, nor does it mean a shaming, finger-pointing Christ, but a perception of Jesus Christ who is loving, kind, and so willing and wanting to help you, as he really is. Once that image is in mind, suggest that the struggling person think about a pornographic image that he or she has seen, preferably a still shot to begin with. Yes, both images in mind at the same time. The facilitator suggests that a beam of light stream from Jesus Christ to the pornographic image. It usually only takes a few seconds for the image to transform into something appropriate like this, or perhaps the image may become so distorted it's unrecognizable, losing its appeal, or it may just disappear completely, or something like that. Whatever the experience, the person reports back to the facilitator what has just happened. That's it. You just learned the technique. It is so ridiculously quick and easy that you may wonder how it's possible. But with Christ, all things are possible. So, now that you've seen how that works, try it again, just for the experience. Next, do the same thing, only this time with a video in mind. Have the person imagine the light from Christ going through the entire video from beginning to end and report what happens. Results are usually the same, whether it's a still shot or a video. Most report a beautiful, peaceful feeling lingering and an awareness of how much Christ loves them and is willing to help. But what about all the other porn images I've seen through the years that are still stuck in my head? Jesus Christ is a multitasker. He doesn't need to tackle one job at a time. That was only for your benefit, to convince you of what was possible. Jesus Christ simply needs your permission to clean up the rest. The facilitator will then prompt the porn struggler to imagine the light of Christ going into memory and locating every memory of porn stored there, even the ones that you don't remember. And while you're at it, the facilitator can suggest that the light of Christ go to every fantasy that you've ever entertained, every time you've acted out as a result of watching porn, every belief and every lie that you've bought into as a result of that habit, and resolve those as well. Christ can work the same miracle on whole groups of memories, as long as you give him permission by imagining what you want him to do, and then getting yourself out of his way so he can work his miracles. When things seem to be resolved, the facilitator can ask you to try and pull up some of those images. If you try and can't, you've probably accomplished what you set out to do. For some, it's just that simple. Others may enjoy partial results, but need some more work, and that's okay too. Repeat this as often as you need until you get the desired results. If nothing changes, there may be some internal blocks going on that need to be addressed by a trained facilitator. Whatever the case, there are usually explanations and resolutions for everything. Persistence is your friend. Why haven't I heard of this before now, you might ask? Well, the answer is you have it now, so be grateful and use it whenever you can and pass it on to others. But always ask permission before you attempt to use it on anyone else. Can this simple tool release me from my porn addiction? For some, getting rid of those images may be all that's needed. Others may require more extended work with a trained facilitator. However, any willing person can try it and just see how much good it can do. For those who've managed to stop their porn habit, but still have those pesky images floating around in their head, this can be a welcome relief. What do I do if the urge to view porn strikes again? At the moment the urge strikes, simply imagine Christ and the light that exudes from him going between you and the source of the temptation, whether this be in your mind or whether it's something you see on a billboard, a magazine, a computer, or whatever. Just get the light of Christ between the two, and then be amazed at what he can do, right on the spot. However, under normal circumstances, it is advised to have a facilitator present to guide you through the process so that that analyzing part of your mind that wants to dominate and control doesn't crowd out your ability to have these experiences. What this tool cannot do. This tool cannot stop a person from viewing porn again if that's what they want to do. That is an act of free will, and God will never take away your free agency. However, for those who are highly motivated, this tool may be what tips the scales in your favor. Or it can be the early intervention that stops a young viewer from getting hooked in the first place. Can I use this simple tool on other issues? Well, of course. There are many places that you can use it, such as calming a nightmare in yourself or for someone else, or resolving a painful memory. Just simply have the person imagine Christ or the light from Christ going into the memory or going into the nightmare, and you may be surprised and delighted what happens. This tool alone, as taught in this video, is highly effective. However, some cases may require a deeper understanding in order to use it best. If you're interested in learning more about this tool, you can email me, Helen Bair, at 123@findingthehealer.com. And by the way, the 123 stands for the first 3 steps of the 12-step program, and Finding the Healer, of course, is Jesus Christ. Or you can call me at 602-320-2233, and I will return your call when I can and answer any questions that you may have. I would also invite you to watch the 4 free videos on my website, findingthehealer.com, to learn more about how and why this tool works so well. Thank you for watching this video, and please pass it on to others.